Okay, so welcome everybody to tonight's intro to doTERRA's essential oils. I'm excited to share what I've learned over the last 3.5 years of using these oils. And the aim of this class is really to help empower you, to give you an introduction, so kind of a baseline into essential oils. I'm going to be covering what they are and why they do what they do, why they're such effective medicine, natural medicine. I'm also going to be covering how to use them safely and effectively to get the best results. And we're going to go through the 10 core oils that doTERRA do as well, which you'll see as we go through them that these oils can really cover most physical and emotional ailments as well. So we're going to cover all of those things. Please, as I said, feel free to put any of your chat, any questions at all into the chat, and I will do my best to address them throughout the class, but there will also be time at the end for us to have specific questions answered as well. So briefly to introduce myself a little bit more, I studied biology at university. I love science. I love understanding how things work and why things do what they do. And I became a science teacher. And then I actually found I was quite drawn towards natural medicine. So I started at the College of Naturopathic Medicine and did my first year. And then I had 3 wonderful girls, which completely distracted me. And I had to put my course on hold. It's still waiting for me. Because during that time when that was on hold, I came across doTERRA and the essential oils. And I've become very much into this as a natural way of managing your health. And I'm very passionate about educating and teaching as many people as I can about this wonderful source of medicine. So just briefly then, my mum was the one that actually introduced me to these oils about 4.5 years ago. Now she's an extremely fit lady. She was a fitness instructor and was able to do 60 push-ups, pretty fit. And she was on statins and beta blockers all of a sudden because she was diagnosed with very high blood pressure and heart complications, including an irregular heartbeat. And so we saw my mum's health pretty much plummet within about 2 weeks. And she was very concerned. But at this time, luckily, she came across this lady who was using doTERRA's essential oils to help manage her own quite serious health conditions. And so she recommended to my mum that she look the ailments up in a book, which I'll be telling you about in the class. And she started using geranium, frankincense, and rosemary twice daily. Now, after using these for about 2 weeks, mum noticed a dramatic difference in her health. So she started decreasing her medications until after about 6 weeks, she was completely free of medication. Now, this is what really kind of, struck a chord in me at the beginning and really piqued my interest in essential oils. Because although I'd heard of essential oils, I hadn't realised they could be used in this way. So I started doing a lot of research. And for those of you that like research, I know we've got quite a few nutritional therapists on this call, so you'll love the evidence base behind essential oils. I explored on PubMed, and doTERRA have their own scientific site called aromaticscience.com as well. And I was astounded at how much research, how many scientific journals there were showing the effectiveness of essential oils and showing it kind of, with chemistry basically. And this is when I went to my first class, much like this. I was again just very interested in what I was hearing. And it wasn't really there until I started using the oils myself. So I purchased some oils, started using them on myself and my family, that I really began to see what these essential oils could do. So that began my journey, and that was over 3.5 years ago now I went to my first class. And I've been using them ever since. And I actually haven't had to use any medication at all on my children or myself and my husband. And we've had quite a few different things that have come up. So with that said, I just want to kind of make a point here that I'm not against medication at all. I definitely feel there's a place for medication. And my cousin's a doctor, and I totally believe medication in its right place. But essential oils are a very powerful and effective form of natural medicine. And I'm going to explain a little bit why they are so effective. So let's start from the beginning. Some of you may have used essential oils before, and I know after speaking to some of you today, some of you have.
That's been set up for creating events.
That's
to link your calendar,
my Alexa going off in the background.
In your Alexa app.
Excuse me, that's Alexa joining in. So, what is an essential oil? So let's start from the beginning. Lavender is a really good place to start. Now, lavender is used for calming. Now, why is it so effective? So basically, essential oils are the immune system of the plant. So it's what the plants use to protect themselves and to fight off viruses and bacteria. And they have to be obviously very powerful because plants live out in the wild. Now, what's great about essential oils is they're actually 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So my mother-in-law has been a herbalist for over 25 years, and she's used herbs to great effect, but actually now she much prefers to use essential oils because she finds them a lot more effective to use and easier to use as well, which we'll be going through. The other wonderful thing, of course, about essential oils is that they are very safe without side effects. And in fact, they're so safe that you can use them on babies and during pregnancy, and you can use them all throughout and with the elderly as well. And if you have pets, you can also use them with pets too. So they really are very safe to use. So during this presentation, I will be covering these three things, and we'll be talking specifically about doTERRA's essential oils. And I'll be covering, what really makes doTERRA's oils different. And this is one of the things, is that they are completely 100% natural, so free of any chemicals at all. And because of this, they're actually more effective, obviously, than other essential oils, but even more effective than a lot of medications as well. And they are very cost effective because they are so pure. And I'll be touching on that throughout the presentation too. So how are they 100% natural? Now, when doTERRA first started, their mission was to produce an oil that was completely pure. And why this is so important is because when it comes to essential oils, there is no governing body and no regulations stating what you have to put into that essential oil bottle. So what's happening is, as consumers, we don't know what we're getting, like with lots of things, isn't it? It's the same kind of situation. So anyone can put 100% natural in their bottles, but actually it doesn't contain 100% of the essential oil. In fact, in most cases, it's just a fraction of the essential oil. And you usually have carrier oils diluting it, or cheaper versions of the oils, or at worst, you're going to have chemicals in there which can actually cause harm to the body. And that's why often, people say when they smell essential oils, they get sometimes a headache, or they can have a bit of a reaction to it. And this is because they are not pure essential oils. Now, doTERRA ensure the purity of their oils, and this was their mission, as I said, to produce a completely 100% pure essential oil. And they do this in two ways. So first of all, from this beautiful map, you can see doTERRA source all of their essential oils from across the world. Okay, we don't yet have any from England, I'm afraid. I'm rooting for nettle essential oil at some point in the future. But at the moment, we have essential oils from all across the world. And it's because they select the essential oil in the area where they are the most potent, and the chemistry is the best for what we're looking for. So they find where the best essential oil is grown in the world, and that is where they source it. The next thing that doTERRA does is then every single essential oil that's harvested, every single drop is then carefully tested by various tests. So this is first of all done both in-house within doTERRA, with their own in-house scientists, which they have a huge team of about 30 plus scientists, including doctors and aromatherapists. And then these essential oils are then tested third party as well, which adds obviously credibility to the testing procedure. And then they're once again tested for a third time before they're put back into the bottles. And so on every single bottle of doTERRA's essential oils, you will see this logo, CPTG, which stands for Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And this is doTERRA's own standardization, because there is no global standardization. So this is doTERRA's own, and it's basically to let us know as consumers that what we are getting is a completely pure oil. And it's what this CPTG stands for. And that is what I've just told you. They're all sourced from the natural habitat, and they are thoroughly tested to make sure there is absolutely no contaminant, no chemical in them at all. And so we can conclude they are 100% natural. I just want to briefly mention something that's also very dear to me, really. So as I came to get to know doTERRA a little bit more, I found out that as far as possible, doTERRA will source their essential oils from developing countries where they can really help economically. And what they do is they obviously go to the professionals, who are these farmers that have been farming the essential oils for years, and they work in direct partnership with them. And these farmers are therefore very loyal to doTERRA, because doTERRA, really listen to them, but also they pay them a fair salary. So they get a very fair salary that they can depend on, and that helps build up their local communities. So actually over 80% of doTERRA's essential oils are exclusive to doTERRA, because these farmers really want to work with doTERRA. Now, working with these farmers, they also kind of find out, what time of day even the essential oils are best to be harvested and how long they should be grown for. So there's no push for harvesting them ahead of time. So they do everything they can to ensure we're getting the most potent as well as the purest essential oil. So how to use them? There are 3 ways that you can actually use doTERRA's essential oils. And it's because they are completely natural that you can use them in these ways effectively. So the first way is aromatically. This is one of my favourite ways of using the essential oils, and it's great for mood lifting, it's great for decongesting as well. And a very easy way to do it is just to put 1 drop of essential oil into your hand, just put it into your hand here, rub the palms of your hands together. And then you can also rub the back of your neck if you had something like peppermint, something I love to do this with, because peppermint's great at bringing down inflammation and helping with tension. So it's a good one to kind of rub on your neck for a gentle massage. And then with certain oils, especially peppermint, and you'll know which ones you have to close your eyes for, then you please just close your eyes, cup your hands, and take about 6 or 7 deep breaths. So it can really go up your olfactory nerve into your limbic system. And the essential oils then cause a chemical change within your brain, which affects your mood. So it's been scientifically proven to actually affect your mood, to lift your mood, to help with, mild depression, mild anxiety, things like that. So that's a really good way. The other method of aromatic is you can put the essential oils into a diffuser. This is a wonderful diffuser that doTERRA do, and it's very different to an oil burner. So please don't heat these essential oils up. These essential oils are, as I said, very pure, and they're high in their therapeutic benefits, but if you heat them, you'll actually damage their therapeutic benefits because you'll interfere with their chemistry. So this diffuser, you just put cold water in and about 3 to 4 drops of your, selected essential oil. And that will then affect 30 meters squared area. So in your house, you can really have a big effect. So it's a great way to lift everybody's mood in the house. So if you have a grumpy husband perhaps, or children that just need a little bit of a lift, or just calming. Lavender is a lovely one to put into the diffuser to help calm the whole family. So it's a wonderful way. And diffusing is such a safe way to use the essential oils for everybody. And you can diffuse the essential oils 24/7. There are no side effects with diffusing at all. They're very, very safe. I'm just going to check my chat here because I had a question here that just came up. To the end. Okay, so Becky's saying she couldn't see the diffuser. Did you see the diffuser, Lindsay? Because I can see you on the... Can you see the diffuser there in the picture? No. Can you see the diffuser? Yes, you can. Yeah, okay. So there's the diffuser. So hopefully you can see that, Becky.
If anyone... Yeah, it's because you're not full screen. If you can't see Becky on the little window on the side, if you just click, move the little squares up, then you'll be able to see Becky. If she's small, not the full screen, then you can see it.
Yeah, because you're probably seeing some other people there, so you just need to move the squares up, as Lindsay said. No, there aren't any oils that you can't diffuse, so that every single oil is fine to diffuse. Perfect, thanks, Becky. Yeah, so they're absolutely fine. Oh, someone's done some drawing on there.
There are some probably wouldn't.
Yeah, there are some you might not want to because of the smell of them, but they're absolutely fine. They're very
But you can.
So someone's drawn on there. I don't know how to get that off. Okay, I'm not sure how to get that off. Do you know, Lindsay, how to get that off the screen? Okay, we'll just carry
I don't think so without being the one sharing my screen. Yeah, it's fine. We can still see.
Okay, brilliant. So we'll just leave that on. So just be careful if you're touching the computer. It does draw on there as well. So that's aromatic. Yeah, so you can diffuse every single one of doTERRA's essential oils, but as we said, some of them aren't particularly that pleasant to diffuse. So the second way you can take doTERRA's essential oils are topically. So this is a really great way, an effective way if you're addressing a particular area of your body. There's a very easy way to use the essential oils, and you literally just put the essential oil on the area that you need it. So if you have a headache, again, you'd use something like peppermint and lavender. They're wonderful for headaches. And you can just put the essential oil here on your temples or on the top of your neck, if that's where you're feeling the tension, or on the back of your neck here for stress. If you're feeling like really tight here, that's quite a common place to feel the headache coming from. And you can also put it on your stomach as well. So if you have a stomach pain, you put it on your stomach. If you have chest pain, then you put the essential onto your chest area. Now, when you first start using the essential oils, we do recommend for safety, and because everyone's got different skin sensitivities, that you start using them on the bottom of your feet first of all. So please test the essential on the bottom of your foot. And if you have a slight red mark that could come from that, then you know you are sensitive to that essential oil, and so you would definitely want to use them alongside a carrier oil. Now, there are many different carrier oils you can use, but the scientists in doTERRA have found out that coconut oil is actually the one that complements the chemistry of the essential oils in the best way. So it doesn't interfere at all with their therapeutic benefits, but it actually enhances them. And doTERRA actually do a fractionated coconut oil, which is liquid at room temperature, so it makes it very easy to apply. And so basically all I do is put some carrier oil on first and then put 1 drop of essential oil on top. And you can literally apply this every 2 hours as needed. Now, putting them on the bottom of your feet is also a great place though to start, especially if you want to have that systemic effect. So if you want to affect your whole body, then that is a really good place to put the essential oils, because in about 30 seconds, that essential oil will be absorbed into your body, and within 20 minutes, it goes into every single cell, does what it needs to do, interacts chemically with the components of the cell, and then it leaves your body within about 2 hours. So the really good thing to note about that is that these essential oils do not build up in your body, so they do not overload your liver. They literally do what they need to do. They work with your body to heal itself, and then they leave your body. So generally speaking, you might need to apply an oil every 2 hours. For some things, if it's really acute pain, then you might need to just apply them every 20 minutes just for a short period of time. But for other essential oils, then you just need to apply them once, you know, so you kind of go with your body, see how you feel, but one application is often enough and you don't need to reapply. Now, one essential oil here, and you can see it in the picture, and I'm going to talk about this blend a little bit later, but this is a wonderful essential oil blend that doTERRA does, and it's an anti-inflammatory blend. So it's called Deep Blue, and this is an example of an oil that you might want to use every 20 minutes just for that acute kind of time period. And I use this for my back pain, for example. And all you do is you just put a pea-size, I'm just going to show you here, a little pea-size amount of this, and it's in a natural aloe vera based gel. You can just rub into your neck. I often put it into my neck and shoulders because it helps to relieve any tension, and it has a lovely cooling and warming effect and helps circulation as well, and blood flow to that area. So that's one that you can put on topically. And like I said, it comes in an oil, but because it's very popular, it also comes in a blend as well, in a cream. So you can spread it over larger areas. So that's topical. So literally 1 to 2 drops is all you need, which is why these essential oils are so cost effective, because you don't need to use very much. You know, they last an awfully long time and there's no expiration date. So only on the citrus oils, which will last about 5 years, but all the other oils will last forever, and you really don't need very much of them. Okay, so the third way, really exciting, is internal use of the oils. So this is unique to doTERRA, and it's because doTERRA's essential oils are guaranteed 100% pure, as I explained, that you can actually take them very safely internally, which is wonderful, because on doTERRA.com you can go and see the scientific benefits. The scientists have done lots of research showing just the huge benefits of taking an essential oil internally as opposed to topically or aromatically. And there's certain things that would be much more effective to take internally, and that's, for example, gut health, or stomach conditions, stomach aches, you know, anything going on in your stomach, IBS, that kind of condition. Also, if you've got a virus, then I find it's much more effective to take them internally. So it's a really lovely way. And again, you can just take 1 to 2 drops in some water. Now, to give you an example, if I was to take one for medicinal reasons, so say I've got a bit of a virus and I want to take the antiviral blend, which I'll be speaking about in a bit, I would literally just put, let's see, a little bit more on that, kind of get a shot glass of water, about that amount, and put 1 drop into that, and then just swallow it. And sometimes I gargle it to focus it around this area here, but literally just swallow it. And again, you can do that every 2 hours as needed. So just see how you feel. The essential oils are very easy to use. You just kind of use them and see if you need to use them again. So just see how you feel. For other essential oils that are pleasant to taste, like lemon, for example, and I do that daily, then you'll want to put about 1 drop into a nice glass here, so about this kind of size, and then you can drink and enjoy the essential oil. So that's internal. Okay, let me just see, I think there might have been a chat up here. A question. So other carrier oils, you know, almond oils, you know, get a good quality almond oil, or jojoba oil are also good. But yeah, coconut oil is just the one that is recommended most because of the research carried out on it and how it interacts with the essential oils. So just a bit on essential oil safety. They are very safe and gentle without side effects. Please do keep out of your eyes and inside your ears, in your ear canal, and please don't put them up your nose. If you do happen to do any of those, the eyes is kind of the most common. Please don't panic, but do not use water. Please use a carrier oil to dilute. Be aware of your own skin sensitivity, as I said. So just kind of start on the bottom of your feet, and when you start using them topically on other areas, please always start using them with a carrier oil. So like I said, just put some carrier oil on first, then a drop of essential oil. Okay, so I'll come on to colds. Okay, so thank you for your question. I will come on to colds, and yes, they're all very safe for children. Now, generally speaking, you wouldn't want children to take them internally. You know, my girls do have lemon in their water, and that's great to help with cleansing. But other essential oils, I wouldn't generally give them to my children for internal use. Okay. So the last bit of safety I just want to mention, it's not that much of a big deal in England, but if you are going to go sunbathing in direct sunlight, then please be careful of where you put citrus oils, because within 12 hours, that will increase the UV sensitivity. So just be aware of that, please, as well. Now, before I go on with the essential oils, I just want to mention, as I kind of said, you know, we're not saying here that putting on 1 drop of essential oil is going to cure all your problems. This is a wellness class. So doTERRA really do encourage, you know, healthy eating, exercise, stress management, all of these things. And that will actually enhance the effects of the essential oils when used on top of that. But where we come in is the informed self-care. And this is why I'm very passionate, because I don't know if you're like me, but as I said, I didn't know a lot about essential oils. So this is about informing and empowering you, and then so you can let others know as well of how they can take more control of their own health, basically. And that's what's exciting about this. So on that note, I just want to briefly introduce a supplement pack that doTERRA do. Now, again, before I came across doTERRA, I wasn't that keen on supplements. I tried to eat as healthily as I could. But after starting my nutritional course, I discovered, it's very hard to get all the nutrients we need from our diet. And at the time, I was suffering from borderline chronic fatigue. I was also having severe anxiety, which I'd never experienced before. And so I decided to start taking this supplement pack, which is these 3 bottles together. And after 2 weeks, I woke up and I felt completely different. So my anxiety had completely gone. And after 6 weeks, my energy levels really started to significantly increase until at about 3 months, they reached the peak. And that's where they kind of stayed. So for me, this has really been life-changing. And they really are a very unique supplement pack. And if you know about Dr. Axe, he's a well-known nutritionist online. He talks about this, and I'll include a video of him speaking about this in the follow-up email. But they basically contain 3 bottles, as you just saw, and they're designed to work synergistically. So they work together to help your body have everything it needs to be able to, fight anything that comes its way and to heal itself. And then adding in the essential oils is obviously extremely powerful then. So this first bottle contains all your vitamins and minerals, but what's significant is that they're in their whole food form. So it's a patented approach to this, where they're able to achieve this by growing these nutrients on the protein matrix, which helps the body therefore to be able to absorb these nutrients very quickly and utilize them. The second bottle then contains your omega-3s and your omega-6s that are in the correct ratios, and also, again, they're certified pure, because often fish oils can be rancid. They come from the base of the ocean bed. They also contain antioxidants as well to stop these omegas from oxidizing. But what's also very unique about this Vitality Pack, the supplement pack, is the fact that you are taking these essential oils every day as well. And clove is very high antioxidant, so it's brilliant to helping your body fight off things. And also frankincense is very good for inflammation, and we'll be coming to frankincense. But that's something that's quite significant about this. And then the third bottle that I have grown to love contains all your herbs that help to boost your mitochondrial production. And unfortunately, it's a well-known fact that as we get older, we're not producing as much mitochondria as we should, that our cells are not functioning at the point they should be, and that affects our energy levels. And so this is there to help boost your mitochondrial production and to give you energy. So just quickly, if people are suffering from particularly more chronic conditions, then I do recommend they get that base nutrition into them. So here's somebody who had crippling arthritis, and she used the Deep Blue blend, which is wonderful for arthritis, alongside the supplements. This lady here had severe fibromyalgia and was in a wheelchair, quite severe really, and IBS as well, and the supplements alongside the essential oils helped to get out of a wheelchair. And I will be mentioning this a little bit later on. Obviously not going to make any claims regarding cancer, but this lady, had a really strict diet and used the Lifelong Vitality supplements alongside essential oils to help. Okay, let's just see what questions I've just had come up. No, there's no contraindication with autoimmune conditions, and actually they've been used a lot for autoimmune conditions with great effect. There is a vegan version. That one that I'm just showing there is not, but there is a vegan version as well. Yes, so that's answered. Lindsay's already answered that. Lindsay's good. Lindsay's my colleague and friend as well, and she'll be coming on in a bit. So we're now going to spend the rest of our presentation, the rest of this time together, or most of the time, talking about these 10 core oils. So doTERRA do over 70 plus essential oils and blends. But this is a really good place to start, because with these 10 core oils, you can pretty much replace your medicine cabinet. So it's kind of doTERRA's answer to your natural medicine cabinet. And you'll see as we go through them that they do cover most common ailments, both physical but also emotional as well. So it really is a wonderful place to start. So that's what we're going to be going through tonight even. So first of all, I just wanted to mention, please don't feel like you have to remember everything from this presentation. I know it can be a lot, you know, whenever you're starting something new, it can feel like there's a lot of information. You know, doTERRA have tried to make it as easy as possible for you to feel confident to start using these oils. And really, like I said, it's just a matter of just starting to use them, and they're very simple to use, but you also have great resources to help you. So these are the main kind of resources I'd recommend. There's the 2 books. So the Modern Essentials book, it's now actually been updated. So you're looking for the 9th edition. So it's a smaller version, but wonderful. It's more scientific. So if you like quite a bit of science, then that book has a lot of the science research in it. Also talks about the oils, and you can look up ailments alphabetically, and it will tell you which essential oils to use. The Essential Life book is another good book. And again, you can look up ailments, and there's not as much science in there, but there's quite a few recipes in there that you can look up. And then, of course, you have a wonderful app, which I find is just incredible, really, because you can take on holiday, you can have it on the go, and again, you can look up the oils, you can look up the ailments, and it's very simple to use as well. So please don't feel like you have to remember everything at all. And of course, you can always watch this presentation as many times as you would like. Okay. So the vegan fish oils, I can't remember, vegan fish oils, the vegan omega-3s and omega-6s, I'm not sure. I know it's plant-based, I'm pretty sure algae, but I'm not entirely sure, but I can find out for you. Or Lindsay can just, I don't know if Lindsay knows, she can type it in the thing. So let's move on to the essential oils then. So lavender, we did mention briefly, is very good for all things calming. So whether it's emotionally or also physically as well. So literally if you're feeling stressed, which I know is a huge thing these days, you know, lots of people are feeling stressed, then there's a lot of research to show how lavender actually decreases cortisol levels in your blood. So you can find those papers on PubMed. So it really does have a significant effect on your stress levels. And actually they found that diffusing lavender for about 10 minutes significantly affects your stress levels. But also things like depression as well it's good for. So it's helping, you know, kind of just settle you and just help you feel calmer, less anxious as well. And of course it's very well known for sleep. And a lot of people these days suffer with sleep problems. And so a really good way of putting this essential oil on for sleep is either on the bottom of your feet before going to bed, or in the diffuser. But some people we've had who have been, you know, insomniacs for a long time, put 1 drop in some water and then take that internally, and they found that really effectively. So when using the essential oils, you know, use them one way, and if you're not experiencing the effects you want, then use them another way as well. Also really good to help calm the skin as well. And I'm just going to invite Lindsay to just share some experiences about that, because I know you've had some good experiences with that, Lindsay.
Sorry, I'll unmute myself. Definitely. So lavender's been one we use as our kind of first aid oil. So we use it for cuts and grazes. Sorry. I have 3 young children, so we have lots of cuts and grazes. And it's a lovely one to be able to use for that. But actually it was just once on the way home from school, and one of the little boys went through the hedge, as boys do, and got a big thorn in his leg. And so it got quite hooked in. It wasn't very nice anyway. So he was bleeding. It wasn't like a massive cut, but he was bleeding, and he was quite upset about it. And it was just lovely that I had my little keychain. So it's a little key ring. I'll grab it in a minute. And so I had the oil on, and I said, oh, you know, lavender would help. And the mum kind of looked at me like, well, that's not helpful if you don't have it. Anyway, I had the lavender with me, and it was lovely to be able to have something that would be able to help. And we put it on, and then off they went. And I saw her about 20 minutes later, and she said, that's totally stopped it. It's as if there's nothing there. And so it had totally calmed down the skin, it calmed down the little boy as well. And so I know that it helps emotionally as much as it did physically. We've also used it for things like rashes, chicken pox, mosquito bites. So really, I've used it for so many different things, the lavender, and it's absolutely lovely. Also for headaches, I often use lavender and frankincense. For my daughter, she's 3.5, and she sometimes gets headaches, and she'll say, "Oh, my head is cracking." And so I put lavender and frankincense on the back of her neck, and then I do the same for myself if I get a headache, or lavender and peppermint. So that's some of the ways that we use lavender. We use lavender quite a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great one with children. We have quite a few hyper children amongst some of the school mums, and they've used lavender, and it really helps to calm them down as well. Particularly amongst boys. Boys seem to be a bit more boisterous. I just have 3 girls, so mine aren't in such a need, that they found that great effect. So thank you so much, Lindsay. And the one other thing about lavender that I want to mention that I found quite fascinating is there's a lot of research to show that lavender helps the body to produce the antioxidant glutathione, which we know is very hard to get. So actually that's a really good thing as well. So within 22 hours of putting the lavender on, that effect is shown. Okay, so moving on to lemon. Most of us know, don't we, that a slice of lemon in the morning is always been told is very good to help the body to cleanse and detoxify, and it's actually very true. Now, the lemon essential oil is a lot more effective than the lemon. Firstly, because, of course, by the time we get the lemon into our water, it's often nutritionally depleted, but also it's acidic as well. So it affects the enamel on your teeth. Whereas the lemon essential oil is actually alkaline, and it contains all the healing properties of that plant. So remember, it's the immune system of the plant, and it's found from the rind. So that's where the essential is taken from the lemon, which is why it's alkaline. So our body, unfortunately, is riddled with chemicals such as petrochemicals. And what our body does to defend itself is it surrounds these chemicals by layers of fat and kind of stores the chemicals in your body, which stops them from going around your body, but they're still in your body. And so what lemon does very effectively is it goes in and breaks down these chemicals and actually transports them safely out of your body, also releasing the surrounding fat. So it's also good for a gentle weight loss as well. But a wonderful one to take in the morning, in some warm water. Remember, not boiling hot water, but in warm water is lovely. And it's also very energizing and uplifting as well. So there's various studies on that, but one in particular, and you can look this up online, just type in Vanderbilt doTERRA, and you'll find a great study which they did in the Vanderbilt Hospital, where they diffused citrus oils 24 hours a day, and amongst them was lemon, I think it was lime and grapefruit as well, and without the doctors and nurses knowing. And within 3 months of doing this, they took the survey before and at the end, they found statistically significant results, and that the doctors' ability to cope were a lot higher, but their stress levels had significantly decreased as well. So citrus oils are very good at helping to manage stress and mood as well, but also energy. So it's a really wonderful one, to take in the morning, as I said. Let's just see. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Linz. Yes, so from algae. Brilliant. I also, because it's antiseptic, I also use it as a cleaner as well. So it's a really good one to use as a cleaner. Okay, so the next one is peppermint. Peppermint is very invigorating. 1 drop of doTERRA's peppermint essential oil, if you haven't already had a chance to smell it, is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So it's very, very powerful. Because it's so pure. And this is why you only need 1 to 2 drops of the essential oil, which is why they are so cost effective. So just 1 drop of peppermint essential oil, just put it onto your hands, I demonstrated before. You just breathe it in. It's very decongesting, it's stimulating, it helps to wake you up. It also helps you to focus as well. But it's also very good for things like digestion as well. So there was a study on PubMed about IBS. There's quite a few studies actually, but one in particular showed that 57% of people that took the peppermint their symptoms of IBS significantly decreased. So that is really good. And so taking peppermint internally is great with indigestion. It's also, as Lindsay said, good for headaches, and I think I mentioned at the beginning as well. And it's anti-inflammatory, so it helps to relax muscles as well. And I was going to mention something else, but it's gone from my head. Oh, that's right, it's very cooling. So it's good for during the menopause. You can have a peppermint spray, or also using on children for fevers, to help to manage fevers. It's very effective at that as well. Okay, so I mentioned I'm a scientist. I love biology. I love understanding how things work. So this really excited me when I first found out about this, the effect of essential oils on viruses. So this is a picture, very simplified picture of the cell within our body. And of course, every cell that we have has an outer membrane to it, which is lipid-based. And this membrane is designed to stop things from entering the cell that shouldn't, and stop things from leaving the cell as well. Now, unfortunately, viruses are very good at entering our cells, and they actually live inside our cells. So they're essentially protected by our cells, and then they cause their damage. Now, medications, including antibiotics, are mostly made up of water. You know, they're synthetic. And so they cannot enter the cell because they're repelled by the cell membrane. So they have no effect whatsoever on viruses, although they can attack bacteria. But we know these days there's a lot of multi-resistant bacteria as well that are not able to get killed by antibiotics anymore. Now, essential oils, because they are lipid-based and also due to their molecular structure, they've got tiny, tiny molecules, they're very easily able to pass through the cell membrane and attack that virus. And of course, they can also attack bacteria as well. So they are highly antimicrobial, which is incredible, I think, because we need a weapon, don't we, against these viruses. Now, the exciting thing about doTERRA's essential oils, because of all the research that has gone into them, they're now being used in over 120 hospitals in America, and one in England, in Manchester, called St. Christie's. And this is one that's particularly being used a lot in hospitals. And it's because it's so effective at killing microbes. So this is the antimicrobial blend. It's your protective blend called On Guard. I'm just going to check the chat here. Okay, thank you, Lindsay. Perfect, yes, so this one here contains cinnamon, it contains wild orange, it contains eucalyptus, clove, so a lot of the essential oils that are very good at killing, you know, bacteria and viruses, basically. So it's a wonderful one, and I use it a lot in my home, especially this time of year, in the diffuser. So I put about 3 to 4 drops of this one in my diffuser pretty much every day. And actually a great time to do it is at night time when the body's really healing. And because the diffuser is so safe, you can just put it into your room and it will turn itself off. But it actually kills airborne viruses and airborne bacteria. So really good at helping to prevent you getting sick. So certainly if someone comes into my home coughing, then I'm immediately putting some essential oil into my diffuser. It's also good to put on the bottom of children's feet to stop them getting sick. And so this one is particularly effective as a preventative, but also in the early stages of having something. So if you catch something early on, then for me personally, I find taking it internally in about, you know, a shot glass of water again, so just 1 drop of water. This is the one I'll typically gargle and then swallow. And sometimes once is enough, but other times I might take it a few times throughout that day, just to make sure I have hit that viral infection on the head or bacterial infection, whatever it is. Now, because it contains the clove essential oil, it's actually very good for teeth hygiene as well. So I used it in the early days on an abscess. So I had a severe abscess that I was given antibiotics for, and I took the antibiotics home because I was in a lot of pain. I literally just took my On Guard, put 1 drop on my finger, rubbed it into my abscess, and within 3 days that abscess completely healed. So that was my first real experience with On Guard. Okay. So Melaleuca, otherwise known as tea tree, is also highly effective at killing microbes. And in particular, it's known for fungus and acne, isn't it? And dandruff and nips and things like that. But it's very effective with those things. So good for athlete's foot, good for toenail fungus, just kind of healthy hair as well, kind of stripping your hair from toxins. So you can just add it quite simply, 1 or 2 drops to your shampoo or conditioner. And that's a really lovely way of using it. Now, it works particularly well alongside oregano, which is basically nature's strongest natural antibiotic. There's a lot of research, again on PubMed and other sources as well, showing the effects of oregano on bacteria, basically, including multi-resistant bacteria. In fact, there's one study that shows that oregano killed MRSA in 10 minutes, which is incredible. So things that, antibiotics are not able to kill, then oregano is the one that you need. And I basically do treat it like an antibiotic. So it's one that you want to take 1 drop again every 4 hours. So it's what we also call a hot oil. So please be careful when you're putting this on your skin directly. You definitely want to use this in conjunction with a carrier oil. But it's very effective internally. So if you've got a stronger virus, such as I used to be very prone to tonsillitis, for example. And again, in the early stages of having the oils, I was getting tonsillitis. So I alternated my oregano with my On Guard and took 1 drop every 2 hours. So I did the On Guard, then the oregano. And after doing this for a day, it stopped my tonsillitis from properly coming out. And I carried on taking it for a couple more days just to make sure I'd got that infection out of my system. So it's really very powerful, very good for anything you'd use antibiotics for. It is also very effective at killing parasites. This is the anti-parasitic essential oil. Now, obviously, to get it to the gut, the most effective way would be in a gelatin capsule. So vegetal capsule, and doTERRA do these as well. And so you can literally just put 2 drops of the oregano into your capsule and get it into your gut. And also very good for more chronic conditions such as candida, which I know again is pretty common. So overall gut health and candida. Now, the one thing I would say about oregano is it's that one essential oil that you do want to be careful. There's some thoughts that perhaps taking it over a long period of time can affect your good microflora, so your good bacteria. And so we suggest you take it for 10 days and then have a 5-day break when you can kind of interchange it with the tea tree. So that's how we suggest you take it. And if you are taking it for a long period of time, you'll definitely want to take some probiotics with it as well. Okay, I can see the chat going crazy, so I'm just going to have a look up here. I'm assuming Lindsay's probably answering them all. Vermal clothes, yes, perfect. Tea tree is great for mold. Yes, I'd say lemon too. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Lindsay. It's great having you on the call. So that's oregano. Or the other thing that oregano does do very effectively is helps to get rid of warts, verrucas, and skin tags. So we've had lots of different results with this. Again, please, if it's not on the bottom of your foot, so if the wart's somewhere else on your body, then use with a carrier oil, and you can put the carrier oil surrounding the wart or the skin tag just to protect the surrounding skin, and then just directly put the oregano directly onto the wart or the skin tag. Now, some people's have come off after 3 days, 2 to 3 days. Others have taken up to 3 months. So please be persistent. It will get rid of whatever you're trying to get rid of. It just really depends on the strain and how long you've had it. But it will go. You just need to be persistent with these things. So at least twice a day with those things. If you can more, then yes, more would be great. Okay, so we mentioned this earlier. That was in the tube, as I said. So this is doTERRA's anti-inflammatory blend that's used for pain. So any kind of pain at all, this is the blend you want to use. It contains an essential oil called wintergreen, which is very high in anti-inflammatory properties. Also contains blue tansy, blue chamomile, and peppermint as well. And these are all there to help bring down inflammation in your body. So they're more typically used for things like joint pain, carpal tunnel. We've had great results with carpal tunnel, back pain, stronger headaches, some more severe headaches, and even borderline migraines as well. This has been found to be effective on quite a few people. Before and after exercise, that kind of thing as well. Also, this is very effective for arthritis as well. So being used with great effect for all of those things. Now, I woke up one night with severe kind of stomach cramping due to indigestion. I think I had some kind of indigestion going on, and it woke me up. I couldn't go back to sleep, and I just put some carrier oil on my stomach, put 1 to 2 drops of this deep blue blend onto my stomach, and literally within 5 minutes, the pain had gone away. So they really are extremely fast acting. And like I said, you don't need very much. And I didn't have to reapply it. So that was enough. One application was enough. Now you'll notice perhaps on the picture, but certainly if you do purchase some oils, just looking for my deep blue, here it is. It comes with a different lid to the other essential oils. So it's a child-proof lid. And this is basically telling you that this is the essential oil that we're going to be talking about tonight that you cannot take internally. And the reason being is because it contains an essential oil, wintergreen, as I said, and there's a lot of research to show that wintergreen is a blood thinner. So we don't want to take that internally. And because of that as well, it's the one blend that we're going to talk about tonight, an essential oil, that has contraindications with medication. So most of these essential oils you can use very safely alongside medication. But the wintergreen, so the deep blue, you have to be very careful if you're on warfarin or aspirin or lots of paracetamol. It doesn't mean you can't use it, you just wouldn't be applying it every 2 hours. So you could use it a few times a week, for example, but certainly not overusing it. So that's the deep blue. Breathe, the third blend we're going to talk about tonight. Now, hopefully you're getting the picture that doTERRA are trying to make these as easy to use as possible. And so they call the blends what they do. So Breathe is obviously for respiratory support, helps with anything to do with the respiratory system. So anything from decongesting, it's very good for sinus conditions, also good for kind of chest infections, croup, it's been used very effectively with croup, chesty coughs as well. And even good for snoring. So it's helped many a marriage with snoring problems. Now, this isn't one you'd particularly take internally. You can do, but the best way of taking this one is aromatically. So you would put it into the diffuser, again, to kind of open your airways, or you could just put it on your hand and breathe it in. It's also good to put on your chest. So with some carrier oil onto your chest. Now, especially if you've got a cold, you know, at night time, it's a nightmare, isn't it, when you lie down and everything closes up. And putting some onto your chest, but also in the diffuser, helps everyone to sleep better. Now, I just want to share a little experience that I had, which is quite a miraculous one, really. And this was to do with the lady that I met about 1.5 years ago. And her name's Kathy, and she's from the Isle of Wight, and she was Googling natural solutions for asthma. Because her little boy, Kit, who was 1 at the time, had severe asthma and was life-threatening, and he was on the maximum steroids he could be for his age. But still, at least once a week, they were going to hospital, usually at night time, with a life-threatening attack. And so she was desperate to get him off these steroids. So she came across doTERRA, came to a class, purchased some oils, and started using them on her little boy. Now, she used the Breathe along with frankincense with a bit of carrier oil on first. So just some carrier oil, 1 drop of Breathe, 1 drop of frankincense on his chest and his back, both morning and evening. And after doing this for 1 week, the attacks completely stopped. So he was still on his steroids, but the attacks had stopped. So already that was quite life-changing. Now, about 3 months later, they had their appointment with their doctor. And he looked at the lungs and he could see that the lungs were starting to clear. So she told him what she was doing and he told her to carry on. So about 3 months after that, in the June of that year, she calls me literally in tears saying, Becky, the doctors said that we can come off the steroids, that his lungs have cleared so much that he no longer needs his steroids, and the Breathe is doing enough to help him, which was incredible. And he was able to start preschool and do all those things they didn't think he was going to be able to do because his asthma was so severe. So, you know, these essential oils, they do help with symptoms, yes, but they also go into the core and they attack the root of the problem and help your body to heal itself, which is what is so remarkable and so different to medication, which often just do the symptoms, don't they, and push whatever's going on deeper into our bodies. So they are just an incredible tool for everyone to have. So the last blend I'm going to talk about is Zengest. So this one, as it says on the screen, is good for digestive issues. So it's one of those essential oils that's good for so many things. So it contains fennel, it contains ginger, cardamom, peppermint, aniseed. So it has quite a licorice kind of smell to it and taste. And it's very effective to helping with anything to do with the digestive system, from acid reflux, heartburn, colic for a little baby, down to, you know, IBS, any digestive issues at all, like stomach upset, bloating even, food allergies, constipation, diarrhea, motion sickness even. So it really is a wonderful oil to help with all of those things. And you can take this one, you know, topically, and that's probably the first way you'd want to try it. But if you're not receiving that relief within about 5-10 minutes, then I would suggest you put 1 drop, again in a shot glass of water, so a little bit of water, and just drink it. And you can do this even as a preventative before you eat, if you think you're going to have trouble, and you can also take it afterwards as well. But I certainly find that internally it's the most effective. So again, another wonderful blend to use. Okay, so frankincense. I saved the best till last. Frankincense is known as the king of oils. It's one of the most expensive essential oils that doTERRA do. Obviously, because it's completely pure, it depends on the raw material, how easily accessible the raw material is, you know, influences the cost of the oil. So, for example, lemon is about £9 for a 15ml bottle, whereas frankincense is £76 for a 15ml bottle. It's because it's very hard to get the resin for frankincense and to get pure resin, and you need so much raw material just to get 1 bottle of frankincense. But the benefits are incredible, and it's worth every single penny. And back in, you know, the olden days, so they've been used for thousands of years, it was worth more than gold, you know, and it's just highly, highly recommended. And so frankincense, it has such a wide chemistry that it can help with so many things. And to begin with, it's on a more superficial level, it's very good for the skin. So it's very good to help soothe skin. It's great for scars. So post-surgery, post and pre-surgery, actually, it's very good to use frankincense. But it's good for fresh scars, but also the older scars that are there as well, any kind of skin blemishes at all. It's also an astringent, so it helps to tighten the skin, it helps to reduce pore size and the appearance of wrinkles, and it also helps a lot with circulation, so it helps to give your skin that kind of natural glow, and to decrease puffiness under your eyes. Just putting a drop underneath your eyes is really effective for that. So a way of using it in that way is you could just put coconut oil on your face as your moisturizer and just put a drop of frankincense on top, or you can easily just add this to your moisturizer that you use already. Frankincense has many components in it that help with inflammation as well. So it's one of the best oils for anti-inflammatory benefits. So this is very, very good for any kind of things related to inflammation, which is, you know, a lot of things, isn't it? And what's also quite exciting is that because frankincense contains a lot of sesquiterpenes, so that's one of the major chemical components in frankincense, it can easily pass the blood-brain barrier. Now this is significant because not many things can actually cross that barrier and physically enter the brain. And because of its anti-inflammatory properties, it can therefore help to bring down inflammation in the brain as well. but also it will just help with cell regeneration. So that's one of the things frankincense does very effectively, is to help repair cells and help them function at their optimum level. So in the brain, for example, it will help with the more milder things such as brain fog, mild anxiety, but also to more severe things such as the more severe anxiety, more severe depression, you know, anything to do with mental health. Frankincense is the one that you really want to be using. Also very effective and helps with seizures and as a prevention for things like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, you know, all of these things, frankincense is just incredible with. It's also great at calming stress and tension as well as elevating. It has a remarkable way of doing both. So it helps to both ground and calm you, but also to elevate you as well, especially if you're feeling a bit low, as I said, with depression. Also a good one for immune functioning. So it really helps to boost your immune system and is the most used oil, I would say, for autoimmune diseases as well. So for Crohn's disease and other things like that, it's very effective at helping with autoimmune diseases. So this is the one. It also, when used with any of the other essential oils, it enhances their effects up to about 10 times. So if you have anything serious at all, then you'd want to use frankincense alongside it. So like Kathy with the Breathe for her child, she used frankincense to help really boost that. Now I'm just going to say one last thing about frankincense. I said before I wasn't going to make any claims about cancer, and obviously I'm not, but if this does interest you at all, then please go and do your research about frankincense and cancer, because there is so much research out there now showing that frankincense actually kills cancer cells, that targets specifically cancer cells, and kills them in a process called apoptosis, so causing the cancer cells to commit cell suicide, which is wonderful. So please do look that up if that's something that interests you. And also, if people do decide to go the chemotherapy route, it's a wonderful oil to help support chemotherapy as well. So it's not one way or the other. You can, remember, use these essential oils alongside medication as well. So when in doubt, as it says on the screen, you use frankincense because it does so many wonderful things. Okay, I'm just going to have a look at the chat. I'm sure Lindsay has probably answered them all. Okay, great. Okay, just catching up here. Oh, great, Becky, that's brilliant. So did you have the Breathe for your cough? I have to remind me, I'm assuming it's the Breathe. That's wonderful that you've been using it. I'm so glad it arrived. I wasn't sure with the Christmas postage time and everything. Okay, wonderful. Okay, fabulous. So I'm just going to now mention how you can purchase these oils if you would like to. So basically, there are two main ways you can purchase these essential oils. The first way is retail, which is full cost. But by far the best way to purchase your essential oils is by purchasing a wholesale account, which costs £24. So it works a bit like a Costco card. You purchase your account and that lasts a year. If you want to renew it, it costs £14. But you get a free peppermint as well, which is worth £18. And once you've got your own wholesale account, you can then order as and when you want to on your online account. The oils get sent directly to your address, and you get to purchase essential oils and doTERRA products at 25% off the cost price. So it does save you a lot of money, and definitely the most cost-effective way to purchase your oils. Now, when you first start purchasing your oils, there's an even cheaper way to do it, and that's through purchasing a starter kit. So doTERRA do a few starter kits that are really good to get you started, a good place to start so you're not overwhelmed. And this is why we go through these 10 core oils as well, because all of these 10 core oils are in the starter kit. And these kits, by the way, include the cost of the membership as well. So you're getting, obviously, as you buy the oils in a kit, you're saving a lot of money anyway than just buying them individually, but you also get the enrollment for free as well. So here is the smallest kit you can start with. It's called the Family Essentials Kit, sorry. And it comes with the 5 ml bottles. So the 10 core oils that we spoke about tonight in 5 ml bottles. So I'll just show you here. So you get about 80 drops in your 5 ml bottle as opposed to 240 drops in a 15 ml bottle. So you got your 5 ml bottle with this, and you also get a free Smart and Sassy, which is an uplifting blend and also good for weight loss as well, so it helps with weight loss. So that's the first kit. Now, by far the better, most cost-effective kit is the Home Essentials Kit, and it usually is the most cost-effective, but particularly this month, it is definitely the most cost-effective because of the offer you get with it, which I'll talk about in a second. But this kit, again, it has the same 10 core oils that we've spoken about today, so it covers all those physical and emotional elements. But instead of the 5 mils, as I said, you're getting the 15 mil, which is 3 times the amount of oil for just twice the price. So you're also getting a free diffuser with this. And of course, as I said, you're getting the membership included as well. But for this month, so in December, it's the only month of the year they do this, you get a free frankincense as well, which is worth £76 at retail price. So you're getting another free frankincense thrown in for free, which is brilliant. But I'll tell you about some more deals in a second. There's the other kit that I'd recommend is the doTERRA Family Wellness Kit. For those of you that perhaps want to get the supplements as well as getting the essential oils, this is a great place to start because you get the supplement pack we mentioned, you also get the 5 ml essential oils, the 10 core oils, and you get some other products as well. The On Guard is a very popular blend because it's antimicrobial. So they do a hand soap, a toothpaste, and some On Guard Plus capsules there, which we've nicknamed the Flu Bomb, because it's great just to take when you're getting sick, and it contains oregano and black pepper and On Guard in that capsule. So this is also a wonderful starter kit if you're interested in the supplements and the essential oils. Now, that's not the end of the deal. So basically, so with either of those 2 last kits, you get the free frankincense, as I said, worth £76. But also, if you order by the 22nd of December, you will also get a free deep blue rub, which remember is the anti-inflammatory, so the one to help bring down inflammation, which is worth £40 at retail. And also, one last blend I'm just going to quickly talk about. It's a very popular blend. It's the hormonal blend. So a great one for women called Clary Calm. So you get this one for free as well. And this helps to balance hormones, helps with emotions. So it helps with PMT, both the physical and the emotional side of it. But it's also a great one for perimenopausal and post and during your menopause as well. It just helps to balance all those fluctuating hormones. So this is a really great offer for this month only, and this offer lasts till the 22nd of December. So if you would like to purchase some essential oils, we will be sending a follow-up email after this class, which will have the enrolment form on it. And all you need to do is just fill out the enrolment form and send it back to us, and we can process your order for you. And then you'll get your own doTERRA account, as I mentioned, and you can then purchase as and when you want to after that. We'll also be contacting you in January to do a wellness consultation with you, which is a one-on-one consultation that we'll do online, and just to make sure you're confident in how to use your essential oils and to use your account as well, and to answer any more specific questions that you might have. And there's also a Facebook group that we'll add you to as well for support, that you can post any questions you might have as well. So we really are, very passionate about helping you start your journey with these essential oils and making sure you actually use them and get the most out of them as well. Let me just see if there's any questions here. Now, also after this class today, you also get, it comes with it as a 5-minute just phone call. We'll be phoning you tomorrow at some point just to see if you've got any more personal questions that you want to ask us as well. So that's all included too. Okay, let's just see if there's anything there. Any more questions? No. So do you have any questions at all about how to purchase these essential oils? Let's have a look. I'll just see if there's any more questions, and then in about 5 minutes, for those of you that want to know about how you can earn money with doTERRA, I'll just do a real kind of quick summary in about 10 minutes of how you can earn money with doTERRA as well. But the rest of you can leave for that. Please don't feel like you have to stay for that. But I'll just ask some questions first of all and make sure. Yes, a thyroid. Frankincense is very good for thyroid. Also peppermint and lavender as well. So I didn't mention thyroid. They're very effective for helping to boost the thyroid. And the app is called the Modern Essentials app. That will also be on the follow-up email that I send. I'll send you the resources on there and where you can purchase the books as well. Okay, let me just check to make sure I've covered what everyone wanted. Oh, I didn't mention eczema actually. Someone wanted me to mention eczema. So just briefly, with skin conditions, generally speaking, it's lavender. With eczema, you want to add some tea tree in as well to help with infection. And sometimes you want to add a bit of frankincense. But generally speaking, it's lavender and tea tree mixed with some coconut oil is a good place to start. Okay, any more questions? I think Lindsay's answered most of the questions. Yes, any citrus oils as well. So you can use the lemon to help boost the thyroid as well with the peppermint. Okay, I hope you've all enjoyed that. I'm just going to stop recording actually.